Mic is go. Phone is go. Cat's probably gonna get involved. No, get. Excuse me. QueeReflections. A chance for us to look back at ourselves and say, wow, so young, so gay. Bad boys. Society has really pushed the idea of bad boys. It's what they really want you to, yeah, look at that, bad boys. Oh, isn't it? You look at your Danny Zuko's, and you look at your Joan Jett, and you look at your, Kujo Jotaro, and your Peppermint Patties, and, you know, it's, they're coming in from all angles, these bad boys, these, edgy, and I realized, while I, started this series and, just started researching it, what I could talk about, I realized I'm just as much of a victim of this as anybody else. What's not appealing about the bad boy? Dangerous, edgy, you never know when they're going to punch somebody for you. I think I brought that up in the last video. So, I started thinking to myself, who are the pinnacles? Who are the tip of the top of the bad boys? And I'm talking the entire spectrum of bad boys. Specifically, I'm going to give a shout out to the tomboys. No. Okay, you know what? Cut this whole section. Now, while I don't think there's any sort of shortage of tomboys, bad boys, whatever you want to say, in media, but going through them, you have to weigh value and personal opinion and cultural relevance, and it became a lot. I got a little worn out, so I decided to take a recess. Created by Paul Germain and Joanne Soliber, Recess aired from 1997 to 2001 and followed 6 fourth graders in a school environment constructed around presumed value, whether it's by age or talent or, most importantly, shame. The digger kids dig, kindergartners are wild, the 6th graders and Holy King Bob rule over the school ground, and one day that kid's gonna swing right over the top of the swing set, right into the sun. Every episode was a simple, day in, day out, with one goal: live for recess. The simple things. Freedom. Bullies, teachers, you body changing, you smell bad, you sing real well and have an affair with your teacher, makes you want to throw your hat down and say, this whomps. But that all goes away once that bell rings. Just make it to recess, and everything will be fine. Now, while I have to give a personal QueeReflections shout out to Gretchen and Vince for being very cool and very awesome, there's only one person we can talk about in QueeReflections that really emphasizes the bad boy, the tomboy, the rough and tumble. That's the one, the only, the hypest, your boy, Sean Evans. That's not who I'm talking about. This isn't Hot Ones. We're talking about Spinelli. Now let's take it from the top. The hat, fly. The pigtails, fly. The jacket, fly. The boots, everything. The attitude, bold, determined, ready to rumble, willing to defend people, cares, is very emotional, cares deeply about everyone in her life, especially the people she hates. But if there's one thing I really want to focus on to really get my point across as to why Spinelli is just such a good character, I think I've only called her Spinelli so far. Spinelli's a last name, right? What's her first name? Now, I'm going to talk to you about an episode of Recess. It's probably the best one, aside from that time we found out what the Pale Kids did to Tiny Sedgwick. This episode really shows a depth of character in Spinelli that is just great writing. It's great character work. It's called First Name Ashley. Now, in the episode First Name Ashley, and I just rewatched this recently, but, you know, it's been a couple years since I originally saw it, so if I get a couple details mixed up, je m'apologies. So, episode starts off, Randall, that rat, doing his usual thing. He's sneaking around. He's trying to find out all the who's doing what. What are the digging kids doing? Digging kids? Digger kids? The Digger boys? The Digger team. I can't remember. The Tunnel Gang. Whatever they're called. Tunnel Snakes. He's trying to find out what they're doing, see where they're digging, because they're not supposed to be digging places. And they go, oh, there's Randall. It's not time. And they run away. Blah, blah, blah. Randall almost loses his job because he can't find out what the kids are up to. So he starts snooping around the files. And he finds out Spinelli's real first name. And it's just never come up before. It's been Spinelli this, Spinelli that. Obviously, it's a last name, but nobody ever thought of it. And so he gets this thing. He's like, I'm going to rule the world. The next day, cut Spinelli in line. Spinelli's like, boom, 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 starts punching him in the face. And he goes, yo, Ashley, back up. Whole place bursts into laughter. Spinelli's life crumbles. We see the facade break. We see total destruction of the front that Spinelli has been putting forward this whole time. We see the character break, and we see the person underneath. And next, the whole school gets turned upside down. Ashley, I've already ruined it. Spinelli is forced to join the Ashleys, the high society, hoity-toity girl club of all the girls named Ashley. It's very, what is that movie called? Clueless. It's very Clueless. And Spinelli's forced to join. She has to lose her boots, lose her hair, and, wear a skirt and all this stuff. And it breaks her down, all of her. But then we see all of her friends and everybody in the school change their name. They never explain the fact that these kids are running, what do they call that? Oh, identity theft, fraud, counterfeit. They never, touch on that plot point. I guess a kid doesn't really know what IDs look like, so how are they gonna shout out another kid and be like, hey, what are you doing? Anyway, got off track. The point is, the whole episode is about identity, how we self-identify, and if we spend our lives, if we dedicate ourselves to saying, this is who I am, this is who I am, regardless of my obstacles, this is who I am, and somebody walks up and says, no, you're this, and the whole world goes, yeah, you're not what you say you are, you're what we say you are. The shattering of identity, but also the acceptance of identity from the people who care. We don't see your family. Obviously, this has no effect on our family. It's Recess. The family episodes are good. There's nothing wrong with the family episodes, but come on, it's Recess. Everybody, all of Spinelli's friends, fight for her. Society has given up on Spinelli, but the people have not given up on Spinelli. At the end of the day, they just want Spinelli. Ashleys can be Ashleys, but this Ashley is Spinelli. And that was heartwarming. That's touching. That's character work. And for a young little kid, that's something. Isn't it? That's something. Isn't it? Oh, okay. Yeah. QueeReflections. Anyway, I think it's a little something. Spinelli is an amazing character. I feel like I didn't outline enough. Kitty cat, calm down. I feel like I didn't outline enough in the first episode. My plan for the series. We saw in the first episode, we touched upon the blue shade with Joel Goldberg. This time, we're going to be touching the upper pink shade. next episode, and the one after, we will be exploring the little bit of perp in between. And if I do a fifth one, I don't know what it's going to be about. I've got it this far. Episode 2, I've got us mapped out to episode 4. Don't even worry. I got you covered, alright? Anyways, just to wrap up, I thought it was a good character to discuss, talk about, someone I really care about, really helped me develop when I was younger, because come on, cool, hit, tough, that's a character. Spinelli, top notch. Anybody can argue me on Spinelli, and whatever, opinions, or I'm not very good. Twitter is not very G, Instagram is not very G, Twitch is not very G, YouTube is in the bio of whatever format you're seeing this on. This is on YouTube, so you're already here, hopefully. Subscribe, do all those things, I guess. I'll probably edit this part out. Whatever, who cares? Stay queer.